Many of us think this is simply an unavoidable sign of getting older. But is it really just that? Or could there be hidden culprits right in the everyday foods we eat, secretly stealing the strength and precious flexibility from our legs without us even realizing it? In our conversation today, we'll uncover 5 common food groups that pose a hidden risk to weakening the legs of seniors. More importantly, you'll discover simple, easy-to-apply nutritional secrets that can help lessen aches and pains, regain some lost strength, and make each step feel steadier and more confident. Please listen carefully until the end, because these small changes can make a huge difference to your health and independence. Before we get started, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions you have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from Elders' guidance. We often associate sweetness with comfort and pleasure. That spoonful in our morning brew, a shared dessert, a sweet treat after a meal. It feels like a harmless, normal part of life. But this everyday sweetness, particularly from processed sugar, acts as a hidden saboteur, quietly undermining the strength and function of our legs, which are so crucial for our mobility and independence. You might notice your legs feeling weaker, joints aching more, or fatigue setting in faster, and simply attribute it to getting older. While aging plays a part, consuming too much processed sugar significantly accelerates this decline. Let's look at exactly how this happens. First, sugar takes you on an energy roller coaster. When you consume sugary foods or drinks, candies, sodas, pastries, but also hidden sugars in sauces or cereals, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. This gives you a brief, artificial burst of energy. However, your body quickly releases insulin to manage this spike, often overcompensating and causing your blood sugar to crash shortly after. This crash leaves you feeling tired, sluggish, and weak. Think of it like putting low-quality fuel in your car. It might lurch forward briefly, then sputter and stall. Over time, these constant energy swings make it hard for your body to maintain steady power, making simple activities like a short walk or climbing stairs feel much more exhausting than they should. Second, excess sugar is potent fuel for chronic inflammation. Imagine a low-grade fire constantly smoldering within your body. That's chronic inflammation. Sugar feeds this fire. This inflammation particularly affects our joints, especially the weight-bearing ones like knees, hips, and ankles, making them stiff, swollen, and painful. That persistent leg ache or heavy feeling, often worse after a sugary indulgence. Inflammation is a likely culprit. Muscles are also victims. Chronic inflammation damages muscle fibers, reduces their flexibility, hinders their ability to repair, and leads directly to noticeable weakness and reduced strength, making balance and simple movements like standing up from a chair more challenging. Third, consuming too much sugar pushes your body towards insulin resistance, essentially starving your muscles. Insulin acts like a key that unlocks your muscle cells, allowing glucose, energy, and essential nutrients like protein to enter. With age, this system can become less efficient, but a high-sugar diet drastically worsens this, making your cells resistant to insulin's effects. The key no longer works properly. As a result, your muscles struggle to get the fuel and building blocks they need to maintain mass and strength. This significantly worsens age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, leading to weaker legs, less steady steps, and reduced stamina. Fourth, sugar negatively impacts your bone health. It interferes with your body's ability to effectively absorb and utilize calcium, a mineral absolutely critical for strong, dense bones. Over the long term, this can lead to weaker, more brittle bones, increasing the risk of osteoporosis. For seniors, This is especially dangerous because fragile bones mean a simple fall could easily result in a serious fracture, like a broken hip, which can drastically reduce mobility and independence. A major hurdle is that sugar hides in unexpected places. It's not just in the obvious sweets. Be aware of high sugar content in many flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, even healthy ones. Granola bars, ketchup, barbecue sauce, salad dressings, particularly low-fat versions, and even many types of bread and canned goods. This makes reading labels absolutely essential. Look for added sugars on the nutrition facts panel and try to keep that number low. Also, scan the ingredient list for various sugar names like corn syrup, fructose, sucrose, dextrose, maltose. Anything ending in iose is typically a form of added sugar. So, what practical steps can you take? It's not about eliminating all sweetness, but about making smarter, more mindful choices. Prioritize whole foods for sweetness. Get your sweet fix from whole fruits like berries, apples, oranges, or bananas. They provide natural sweetness along with essential fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Berries are particularly great as they contain compounds that help fight inflammation. Satisfy cravings. Wisely, when you crave something sweet, try reaching for nutrient-dense options first. A small piece of dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or more, a handful of nuts, plain yogurt mixed with fresh fruit, or simply a piece of whole fruit can often satisfy the craving without the negative impacts of processed sugar. Become a label detective. Make it a habit to check the added sugars content on labels. Aim for foods and drinks with minimal amounts, ideally under 5 grams per serving if possible. Be cautious with sugar-free products too, as some artificial sweeteners may have other health concerns. Cook at home. More. This is the best way to control ingredients. You can naturally enhance flavors using spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, or vanilla, or by incorporating fruit purees like unsweetened applesauce or mashed bananas in your recipes, reducing the need for added sugar. Use natural sweeteners. Sparingly. If you do use added sweeteners, small amounts of options like pure honey or maple syrup might be slightly better than refined white sugar. But remember, they still impact blood sugar and should be used minimally. The key takeaway is this: the food choices you make consistently, day after day, build your health or detract from it. While a sugary treat now and then is unlikely to cause major harm, a diet high in processed sugar steadily erodes your leg strength, harms your joints, and impacts your overall energy and independence. By consciously reducing your intake of added sugars and focusing on whole, nourishing foods, you are making a powerful investment in keeping your legs strong, your body healthy, and your life active and fulfilling for years to come. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matters to me either way. Who doesn't enjoy the satisfying crunch of perfectly fried food? That golden brown French fry, crispy fried chicken, or even a warm donut can be incredibly appealing. Fast food, too, offers convenience and familiar flavors that fit easily into a busy life or bring back fond memories. These foods often feel like treats or simple solutions. However, just like with excess sugar, there's a downside hidden beneath that crispy coating and convenience. Deep-fried foods and many common fast food items pose a significant threat to the health of our legs, impacting everything from our joints to our circulation, ultimately affecting our ability to move freely as we age. Again, while we might blame age for aches and slowing down, these foods are often major contributing factors. Let's look at how they can cause problems. First, they're typically high in unhealthy fats that fuel chronic inflammation. Deep-fried foods are often cooked in oils high in trans fats, or unhealthy saturated fats, sometimes using oils that have been reused multiple times. These fats are known triggers for widespread inflammation in the body, and our joints are particularly vulnerable. This ongoing inflammation attacks and breaks down cartilage, the natural cushioning in our joints. This leads to stiffness, swelling, and pain, especially in the knees, hips, and ankles, the joints that bear our weight. Over time, this damage significantly increases the risk of developing osteoarthritis, a painful condition that limits mobility. The resulting joint pain often discourages physical activity, which unfortunately leads to further muscle weakening, creating a difficult cycle to break. Second, these types of foods can impair your blood circulation. They are frequently high in both saturated fats and sodium, a combination known to constrict blood vessels and potentially raise blood pressure. Think of your blood vessels as flexible hoses. These foods can make them stiffer and narrower. This reduces the essential flow of oxygen-rich blood to your leg muscles, starving them of the energy and nutrients they need to function well and repair themselves. What does this feel like? It might manifest as persistent leg cramps, especially at night, fatigue setting in quickly during walks, or a general heavy, sluggish feeling in your legs. Poor circulation also elevates the risk of more serious vascular conditions like deep vein thrombosis, DVT, which are blood clots in the legs, and peripheral artery disease, PAD, where narrowed arteries cause pain and weakness when you move. Third, fried and fast foods are calorie-dense and contribute significantly to weight gain, which overloads your joints. They pack many calories into relatively small portions, often lacking in essential nutrients. Consuming them regularly makes it easier to gain weight, and those extra pounds put immense pressure on your lower body joints. It's estimated that for every extra pound of body weight, your knees experience about 4 extra pounds of force with each step. This added load accelerates cartilage breakdown, worsens existing joint pain, and increases the risk of osteoarthritis. Furthermore, excess weight can negatively affect your balance and stability, making falls a major concern for seniors, more likely and potentially more severe. Fourth, these foods often undermine your bone health. They are typically low in vital bone-building minerals like calcium and magnesium. Compounding this, the high sodium content commonly found in fried and fast foods can actually cause your body to excrete more calcium, effectively leaching this crucial mineral from your bones and weakening them over time. This contributes to the risk of osteoporosis, making bones brittle and susceptible to fractures from falls, particularly dangerous hip fractures that can severely impact long-term independence. It's also important to be aware of the fast food trap. The convenience is tempting, but even items that aren't deep-fried are often loaded with sodium, unhealthy fats, hidden sugars, and refined carbohydrates, all contributing to the problems we've discussed. Even seemingly healthy choices like salads can become unhealthy quickly due to high-calorie, high-sodium dressings and toppings. The sheer ease of access through drive-thrus and delivery apps makes it easy to consume these foods more often than is good for us. But here's the empowering part. You can take control and protect your mobility by making smarter dietary choices more often. It's not necessarily about eliminating these foods entirely, but about reducing their frequency and choosing healthier alternatives whenever possible. Consider these practical steps. Opt for healthier cooking methods. Instead of deep frying, explore baking, grilling, roasting, steaming, or using an air fryer at home. You can make delicious baked potato or sweet potato wedges that are much healthier than deep-fried versions. Use better fats. When cooking, favor heart-healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil over highly processed vegetable oils. These healthier fats contain anti-inflammatory properties. Focus on whole foods. Make meals centered around nutrient-rich ingredients like lean proteins, chicken, fish, beans, whole grains, brown rice, oats, fruits, and a wide variety of vegetables. These provide sustained energy and the nutrients needed to fight inflammation and support muscle health. Navigate fast food wisely. If fast food is sometimes necessary, make better choices. Look for grilled options instead of fried. Choose water over sugary sodas and opt for healthier sides like a side salad. Ask for dressing separately or fruit instead of fries. Eat to boost circulation and bone health. Include foods known to support blood flow, like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, rich in omega-3s, leafy greens, and berries. For bone health, ensure adequate calcium and magnesium intake from sources like low-fat dairy or fortified non-dairy milks, green leafy vegetables, nuts, and seeds, along with sufficient vitamin D from safe sun exposure, fatty fish, or fortified foods to aid calcium absorption. While fried and fast foods might offer immediate taste, satisfaction, and convenience, their long-term impact, contributing to joint pain, muscle weakness, poor circulation, and fragile bones, can significantly diminish your strength and independence. By consciously choosing whole, nutrient-dense foods and healthier preparation methods more often, you are actively investing in keeping your legs strong, preserving your mobility, and maintaining the vitality needed to live life fully and on your own terms. Processed meats, things like bacon, sausage, packaged deli slices, ham, turkey, bologna, hot dogs, pepperoni, are incredibly common in many diets. They're convenient for sandwiches, quick breakfasts, or adding flavor to dishes. They are familiar and readily available. But behind this convenience lies a hidden cost, particularly for the health and strength of our leg muscles, which is so crucial for maintaining mobility and independence as we get older. So how can these common foods negatively affect your legs? First, they typically contain very high levels of sodium. Salt is added generously for preservation and taste. As we'll discuss more next, excess sodium makes your body hold on to extra water, often leading to noticeable swelling or puffiness, edema, in your lower legs, ankles, and feet. This retained fluid makes your legs feel heavy, stiff, and sluggish, putting extra strain on your muscles and making simple movements like walking feel much more taxing. Second, processed meats are usually treated with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, along with other additives, which promote chronic inflammation. Similar to sugar and unhealthy fats, these chemicals can trigger persistent, low-grade inflammation throughout your body. This inflammation directly damages muscle tissue over time, weakening its structure and making it less flexible. It also affects joints, contributing to stiffness and soreness. Importantly, this inflammation can accelerate age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, making you weaker and increasing your risk of dangerous falls and fractures. Third, perhaps surprisingly, these meats can actually interfere with your body getting the nutrients needed for strong muscles. While they are made from meat, the processing methods and chemical additives can hinder your body's ability to effectively absorb and utilize high-quality protein, iron, magnesium, and essential B vitamins, all vital for muscle repair and strength. In essence, your muscles don't get the full nourishment they need from these sources, leading to gradual weakening, increased fatigue, and reduced endurance over time. It's ironic that foods often seen as protein sources might actually be working against your muscle health. The solution lies in shifting the balance away from these highly processed options towards healthier, more wholesome protein sources. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy a sausage link again, but making conscious swaps most of the time can significantly benefit your leg strength. Prioritize fresh, unprocessed meats. Whenever possible, choose fresh cuts of chicken, turkey, fish, or lean beef or pork that you cook yourself at home. This way, you control the salt and avoid unwanted additives. Baking, grilling, or roasting are great preparation methods. Incorporate more plant-based proteins. Don't underestimate the power of plants. Lentils, beans, like black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, tofu, edamame, nuts, and seeds are excellent sources of protein, fiber, and beneficial nutrients that support muscle health and fight inflammation. Make smarter swaps for convenience. For quick meals or sandwiches instead of packaged deli meats, try using leftover roasted chicken or turkey slices. Canned salmon or tuna, packed in water is best. Hard-boiled eggs, hummus, or even avocado. In summary, while processed meats offer undeniable convenience, this ease often comes at the expense of your long-term muscle strength and mobility. By making a conscious effort to choose more whole, unprocessed protein sources, both animal and plant-based, you're making a direct investment in stronger legs, greater freedom of movement, and the ability to stay active and independent for years to come. Salt, or sodium chloride, is everywhere. It enhances flavor, preserves food, and is hidden in countless processed and packaged items we eat daily. Many of us know that too much salt is linked to high blood pressure and heart issues. We also touched on how it causes water retention, leading to that uncomfortable swelling and heavy feeling in your legs, which definitely makes moving harder. Excess sodium also impairs circulation, reducing the vital flow of oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. But there's another critical impact of consuming too much sodium, one that often goes unnoticed until it's too late: its detrimental effect on your bone health. Here's how it works. Your body strives to maintain a careful balance. When you take in excessive amounts of sodium, your kidneys work overtime to flush it out through urine. Unfortunately, as the kidneys flush out sodium, they also tend to pull calcium out along with it. Calcium, as we know, is absolutely essential for maintaining strong, dense bones. Think about it like this. Sodium acts like a magnet that pulls calcium out of your system every time you consume too much salt. Over months and years of consistently high sodium intake, this continuous loss of calcium steadily weakens your skeletal structure. Your bones can become more porous, less dense, and more brittle, a condition known as osteoporosis. Why is this so critical, especially for seniors? Fragile bones break easily. A minor trip over a rug, a slip on a wet surface, or even a sudden cough or twist could potentially lead to a debilitating fracture. Common sites being the hip, spine, or wrist. A hip fracture in particular can dramatically alter your life, often requiring surgery, lengthy rehabilitation, and potentially leading to a permanent loss of mobility and independence. The truly insidious part is that this bone weakening happens silently, without any obvious warning signs, until that sudden painful fracture occurs. And remember, the main culprit isn't usually the salt shaker on your table. The vast majority of sodium we consume comes hidden in processed and packaged foods. Think canned soups, frozen dinners, condiments like soy sauce and ketchup, deli meats, packaged snacks like crackers and chips, many breads and breakfast cereals, and especially restaurant meals and takeout food, which are often loaded with salt for flavor. It's incredibly easy to consume far more than the recommended daily amount, ideally under 1,500 milligrams for older adults, without even realizing it. Protecting your bones from this sodium sabotage involves making conscious choices. Focus on fresh. Prioritize cooking with fresh, whole ingredients like vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains, which are naturally low in sodium. Flavor creatively. Explore the world of herbs, spices, garlic, onion, lemon juice, and vinegar to add delicious flavor to your food without relying heavily on salt. Be a label detective. Get savvy at reading nutrition facts labels. Pay close attention to the sodium content per serving and opt for low sodium or no salt added versions of items like canned beans, broths, and sauces whenever possible. Remember to check the serving size too. Dine out mindfully. When eating out, don't hesitate to ask if dishes can be prepared with less salt, or request sauces and dressings on the side so you can control the amount you use. Reducing your sodium intake isn't about eating bland food. It's about making smart choices to protect your overall health. By doing so, you not only help manage blood pressure and reduce swelling, but you also play a crucial role in preserving your bone strength, significantly lowering your risk of debilitating fractures and maintaining your precious mobility and independence for longer. It's a proactive step towards a stronger, healthier future. White bread, white rice, regular pasta, many breakfast cereals, pastries, and sugary snacks. These are refined carbohydrates, and they're incredibly common staples in our modern diet. They often feel comforting, familiar, and seem like a necessary part of a filling meal. However, these common foods, which have been processed and stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients, can quietly undermine your energy levels and muscle strength, contributing to the decline in mobility that many seniors experience. It's not just about getting older. The type of carbohydrate you eat matters significantly. How do refined carbs cause problems? First, they lead to sharp blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes. Because the fiber has been removed, your body digests refined carbs very quickly, rapidly converting them into glucose, sugar. This causes a fast surge in blood sugar, which might give you a brief feeling of energy. But this spike triggers a strong insulin response, often leading to a rapid drop in blood sugar soon after, leaving you feeling tired, sluggish, and even weak. This energy roller coaster makes it hard to maintain steady energy throughout the day, reduces your endurance, and can make simple activities feel much more strenuous. Second, similar to excess sugar, a diet high in refined carbohydrates also contributes to chronic inflammation. This underlying inflammation can worsen joint stiffness and muscle soreness, making movement less comfortable and potentially discouraging activity. Third, and perhaps most importantly for leg strength, refined carbs can accelerate muscle loss, sarcopenia. They provide plenty of calories, but very few essential nutrients, like protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals that your muscles need to repair themselves and maintain their mass and function. Consuming too many of these empty-calorie foods essentially deprives your muscles of the building blocks they need. Over time, this contributes to muscle weakening and shrinkage, making everyday movements more difficult and significantly increasing the risk of falls due to reduced strength and balance. This decline often happens gradually, so you might not notice it until simple tasks become surprisingly hard. The solution isn't about cutting out carbohydrates altogether. They are an important energy source. It's about choosing better, whole food carbohydrate sources. Switch to whole grains. Opt for options like 100% whole wheat bread, brown rice, quinoa, oats, barley, or whole wheat pasta. These retain their fiber and nutrients, providing more sustained energy release and supporting muscle health. Load up on vegetables and legumes. Include plenty of fiber-rich vegetables in your diet. Starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes, squash, and peas are great choices, as are legumes like beans, lentils, and chickpeas. all excellent sources of complex carbs and other nutrients. Balance your plate. Ensure your meals are well-rounded, combining these healthy carbohydrates with adequate lean protein sources and healthy fats to provide comprehensive support for your muscles and overall energy levels. Making the switch from refined to whole carbohydrates is about giving your body higher quality fuel. It supports more stable energy, provides essential nutrients for muscle maintenance, and helps you preserve the strength you need to stay active, move confidently, and maintain your independence as you age. So we've journeyed through 5 common food groups, from processed sugars and deep-fried foods to processed meats, high-sodium items, and refined carbohydrates. We've seen how each of these, often consumed without a second thought, can silently undermine your leg strength, contribute to joint pain, weaken bones, impair circulation, and ultimately limit your mobility. But the most crucial message today isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. You hold significant power to influence how strong and mobile you remain through the food choices you make every single day. It is never too late to start making positive changes. By consciously reducing your intake of these 5 detrimental groups and focusing instead on whole, nutrient-rich foods, plenty of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains, you are actively investing in your future self. You're giving your body the tools it needs to maintain stronger muscles, healthier joints, and better circulation. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matters to me either way.